Thank you very much, Tessa. So my speech today is a little long. I apologize. I didn't realize it'd be winter already. So elephants and rhinos are among a class of animals in Africa known as mega herbivores that on average weigh more than a metric ton. Their huge size has captured human imagination as the reason we have hunted them and tried to capture them and tame them and covet the trophies we can collect from them. Elephants, because of their large size, can physically alter the landscape they live in and are important to the functioning of both forest and savanna ecosystems. Their dung can spread and fertilize new seeds and vegetation. They dig holes in search of minerals that can act as water catchments in the dry season, and they can thin dense bush into open savanna, making regions accessible to other species, which makes them, in ecological terms, a very important keystone species. Humans are negatively impacting elephants in many ways. Our population is expanding, and with it, the spread of humans into the traditionally wild areas. Agriculture is spreading, and fences, pipelines, and roads are currently being built across Africa that threaten to sever critical parts of elephant habitat with little understanding or care other than for economic gain, but at the simultaneous loss of an incredible natural heritage. As someone who has worked in Mali, Kenya, South Africa to track elephants through desert, savanna, forest, and bushveld ecosystems, I have witnessed and recorded firsthand how the landscape is changing and how serious the threats are from habitat loss and the growing human footprint. But currently the most acute and direct threat to elephants is human greed, manifest through the slaughter of elephants by poachers for ivory. Elephant numbers used to be in the millions. That number has shrunk to just over 400,000 across Africa and limited to smaller and smaller pockets of space. Middle-class proclivities for carvings are now destroying an entire species. Poaching is largely committed by poor people given guns for marginal income and at high risk. Bigger profits go to corrupt government officials and the middlemen moving the ivory and who are operating within corrupt judicial systems. But the root of the problem are the importers and the buyers of ivory, mainly in Asian countries. Stopping poaching has to start by stopping the demand, by breaking down the markets and supply chains and preventing poachers from operating. And all of this has to be done concurrently and fast, as this is a global problem, not just an African one. Some of you may have enjoyed watching the recent full moon lunar eclipse here in Vancouver. The term blood moon has taken on a whole new meaning in recent years because poachers now use the full moon nights to hunt elephants when they can operate in the parks. In Samburu, Kenya, I have heard the gunshots ring out on these nights, unable to do anything except to find another fresh carcass the next morning. Organizations like Save the Elephants, Wild Aid, African Parks, the Clinton Global Initiative, the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, among many others, are working very hard to raise awareness and the necessary funding to fight poaching. We now have a special elephant crisis fund to be able to quickly direct resources where they are needed the most. Governments like in Kenya have also made strong statements against the ivory trade by burning the stockpiles of naturally collected tusks. I'm pleased to say that as a result of these efforts, the tides are now turning. Preliminary results from Samburu, Kenya in 2015 show that poaching levels have now dropped significantly to pre-2008 levels. And just recently, President Obama and President Xi of China announced their country's resolve to fully support the shutdown of the ivory trade. But to borrow a line from Chelsea Clinton, don't mistake progress for success. There are still 30,000 elephants being slaughtered a year, an elephant every 15 minutes. And places like Garamba in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Ruaha Park in Tanzania are epicenters for this massacre. Your presence here today means a great deal and underscores the reason that I think we can stop elephant poaching in our lifetimes. Although the problem may seem very far away as we stand here on this beautiful but cold day, there are ways every one of you can help. 3 years ago, we started the group Elephant Addicts as a way to channel the goodwill of Canadians in stopping the poaching crisis. Something as simple as volunteering your time to give a classroom presentation, chatting to your neighbor about the poaching problem, or buying a new pair of boots for a ranger in Garamba who is risking his life every day to go out on an anti-poaching patrol can make a huge impact on the crisis. So I'd like to thank every one of you for coming today, and let's walk to manifest our support for elephants and rhinos and our resolve to stop their killing. And thank you to Tussa and Fran especially.